Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Here we go. Let's see what happens today.
Oh, I don't know what this thing is. Greg gets a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Well,
Welcome back, guys, on today's show. Look, Mommy, I'm going blind. And ants are taking over the world. And you don't like green eggs and ham? How about purple? And are you ready to be grounded in real life? All this and much, much more we discuss here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? I had to read my own handwriting here. Well, actually, it's not handwriting. It's my site's going bad. And I'll get into that here in a little bit later on in the episode. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing okay? Are you getting along with everyone? Is everyone having a good time out there? I hope you are. I hope you're having a great time. The weather is changing a little bit, so we'll get into that. No, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about weather. What we're going to talk about is what happened this past weekend. Now, I'm doing okay now. For those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres here. We have chickens, we have horses, we have cats, we have dogs, goats, and so on and so forth. Our crops are done for the year, so I have to go out there and till the soil and knock everything down and get ready for our fall. Not necessarily our fall crops, but our evergreen crops, your lettuce, your leafy greens that are going to go out there. We'll get those planted here in the soil here in a little bit. I know it's agricultural talk, but let me dive into something here that just happened this past week, and it affects my homestead here. It affects me. It affects my wife. It affects everyone here on the property that knows us. All our friends and everything that come and visit us here on the property. So this past weekend was the Randy Travis Festival. And the Randy Travis Festival was once known as the Boll Weevil Festival for many years here in Marshville. And for whatever reason, they've slapped his name on it, maybe to get some more publicity. I don't know if he has to pay some kind of royalty out of his estate. He's still alive. Don't get me wrong. He's still alive, sitting in a wheelchair. He's still alive. And so I don't know if there's any funds coming out of his estate that promotes this or how that works out or something like that. So, as you know, I do another podcast that is geared toward the equine community. It's called Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. I'm the host of the show. Mike Stein is the professional of the show. So if you want to check that out, if you're into the horse community, check that out as well. That's Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. And so, like I said, we have horses and stuff here. And normally when these events come into town, local towns within 50 miles radius of our studio here, we'll go out and be part of that. We'll buy a booth, support our community, and go out there and answer questions, whether it be DeaconLive, whether it be the Equine Dynamics show, whatever it is, we'll go out there and do a live little broadcast and stuff, which is great. It lets us, voices to faces, that type deal. But the Randy Travis Festival was coming up again this year. It happens every time this year. It's annual. That's why they call it annual. And I was just like, my wife's asking me, are you going to get a booth out there? Are you going to set up everything? And I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to do it this year. And I don't know why. She's like, do you have an answer? And I'm like, I'm not feeling it. There's something in the air. There's something in the cosmos that said, you know what? Don't do this. So then Mike, the gentleman that I do the equine show with, he's like, hey, do you want to do a booth for the Equine Dynamics show? And I said, Mike, I don't think I want to, and I don't know why. I just don't think that it's a good time right now. That's the only answer I could give, because that's the only thing in my head I could figure out. It's not a good time right now, and I don't know what it is. So fast forward, this is weeks and weeks ago, and people keep asking me, are you going to buy a booth? Here's all the information. I even got the application and filled out everything and what I was doing. I got to that point, and you had to turn them in by a certain date, and I sat on it. I had it all filled out, and I said, I don't think I want to do this live event. My wife's like, fine, do whatever you want. You can do what you want. You can do it anyways, basically. And Mike Stein was also like, maybe you're right, Trav. Maybe we shouldn't do this show. Let's wait until the next one that come around. I said, okay, cool. Everyone's on my side. Not knowing anything, just all right, cool. We'll wait for the next one. So I'm already planning for the next live show and the next live event or whatever that we do. And then Friday afternoon, this past Friday, Mike Stein, who is a farrier, came out and was doing the shoeing the horses and trimming them and stuff. And my wife, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, notices that one of our horses is not doing well, not eating, not really drinking or anything, just kind of standing there. And so my wife is down there, and the farrier, Mike Stein, the farrier, is down there. And my wife comes up and she's like, hey, there's something wrong with Pepper. And I said, okay, so I'll go down there with her. And all of a sudden, Pepper just falls over and starts just laying in the stall. So that's not a good sign. If you know horses or anything, if horses don't feel well, like you and me, they just want to lay down. But the thing with horses are they like to thrash. And when I say thrash, they like to roll back and forth because there's something inside their body that is not working right. Horses cannot vomit. They cannot regurgitate food. So if they have an upset stomach, they physically have to sit there and wait for that whole entire upset stomach to pass through all their bowels and everything and then come out the back end, usually runny, usually kind of liquidy. And I know it's really, I told you, it's not agricultural talk, but this is what happened this past weekend. So fast forward, we had the doctor come out. We had the 2 doctors come out in the middle of the night. My wife spent the night down at the barn. We set up her tack room has full AC. She has a small little bed down there, and she's watching the horse to make sure that it's okay. So anyone out there that knows anything about horses, colic is a bad thing, and colitis is a bad thing. And what that means to the simpletons like you and I, meaning that their intestines are like a party balloon, like an animal balloon that the clowns do, at the kids' party. And if they twist back and forth or they flop back and forth, their intestines can literally just stay in motion or stay in place and twist like a balloon knot. Or not a balloon knot, but like a balloon animal. And then absolutely nothing will pass. And this creates a backup because the body's still processing food. And I know I'm bringing everyone down. So what happened was, unfortunately, we made a decision on Saturday, and this happened fast. I mean, less than 36 hours. This happened fast. We actually had to put one of our horses down. And so I don't know if it was the aura of the planet, and to a certain degree, I believe some of that. There's something that affects, everything's got an effect and a cause and a reaction. So in my mind, I don't know if me deciding not to do the live event show this past weekend, because I would have been full on prep from Monday, to the actual day of the show. I would have been full on prep, gathering stuff, getting banners made, getting flyers made, getting all this stuff. And I just didn't feel like I needed to focus my energy there. And then sure enough, the weekend that would have been the live event, the Randy Travis Festival, this happened, and it allowed me to be with my wife during this time, during this comfort, because how would that have looked if I would have said, well, babe, I got this show I got to do, I got a live event, 100,000 people coming through this festival. How would that have looked on my end? But I didn't know this at the time. So something told me, hey, don't do anything this weekend. You might want to stay home this weekend. And this is weeks prior. And then unfortunately I was available. We did lose a horse. And my wife was glad that I was with her. Of course, wouldn't you want your spouse, your loved one next to you during a troubled time, especially if you're a horse lover out there and you're losing one of your horses. So that's what happened this past weekend. So it's just weird, those little things where you're just like going, should I take a left or should I take a right? And if you take a right, your whole entire life changes. And if you take a left, your life just keeps going on that same path that's going on. So unfortunately, this past Friday, our life took a right and changed our lives a little bit here on the property. But we are now getting back on track and down the same road. that we were scheduled to be on as of now. All right, guys, well, stick around. I'd like to hear from you as well, and you can be part of the show at any time. The way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the Be Heard section. It's a little blue bar at the very bottom part of the page. It says Be Heard. Click on that. Opens up a microphone on your tablet, wherever you're listening to us at, and just speak right into it, and it comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on this podcast or the very next podcast as well. You can ask us anything about the past 275 different shows that we have. By any means, we'd love for you to be part of the show. All right, guys, stick around. We got a big show to get into. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Ready? Welcome back to Deacon Live right here on Prophet. Oh, God. Forgot what show I'm working on. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on social contacts. You can see all the different platforms we're on. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and don't forget for your podcast, we do have a matching video over there on the YouTube page. Hi, I need my subscribers to go up a little bit, so if you can do me a favor, go over to YouTube, click subscribe, and the numbers over there do not reflect our audience, our actual listening audience as well. You know, we've got thousands and thousands of listeners on several different continents and several different countries. And over on YouTube, it just kind of falls short. So do me a favor, go over to YouTube and just click on subscribe. And you know what? While you're there, get yourself something for free on the radio website. Fill out that little form and I'll send you out some magnets, some stickers and stuff, just to say thank you for being part of the show. It's that easy. Now, someone who's not part of the show anymore is the Queen of England. I know some people go, the Queen of England doesn't bother us. You know, she's not making the rules. But some of them, you know, people are like, that's a legacy. This is the headarchy or the monarchy or whatever of English fortune. She is one of the last people that have... I don't know. I'm trying to make shit up here. I have no idea about the Queen of England. I know that she's been around since 70 years. The monarchy of the English name, the queens and kings have gone back for many, many years. And essentially, I guess this is kind of dwindling down to the last known people. Prince Charles is the new king now. What a wretched old man he is. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird. But so that her death has rippled across the whole United States, all over the world, all over the country, because she has affected so many different people in good ways and bad ways. You can throw up a coin and discuss that on your own terms. I'm not going to get into it. But one thing that she has affected are the little things that depend on the queen for just everyday things. They're throwing or putting marmalade sandwiches by her thing because I guess Paddington the bear had something, I don't know, I was reading a weird article about that. But right now, something that's affecting us here at home because of the Queen's death is Heinz is among hundreds of brands that now must remove certain elements from its products in the wake of the Queen's death. Specifically, Heinz must change the designs of its iconic ketchup bottles sold in the UK. The current package contains the royal coat of arms depicting the Lion of England, the Unicorn of Scotland, made-up animal, and a shield along with the words, by appointment of Her Majesty the Queen. Brands are not allowed to display the royal emblem under agreement for supplying goods and services to the royals. Brands are only allowed to display the royal emblem under the agreement of supplying goods to the services of the royals. That sounds like a paper play type thing. That sounds like some kind of a weird arrangement. We'll have your ketchup, but your ketchup must have my royal things on it, and we'll allow your ketchup to be in our quarters, in our tea room. We'll actually put it on our crumpets or something. However, the agreement is now void if the Queen is dead, unless Prince Charles wants to take it up, but he's a crotchety old man anyways. As a result, companies that want to continue using the symbols must reapply to King Charles III to prove their products are regularly supplied to the royal household. So the change applies to Heinz ketchup sold in UK only. The bottles here in the United States display 57 varieties where the royal emblem was normally featured. So there you go. Heinz Ketchup, 57, whatever. They're having a hard time. They're having a hard time, I'm sure. But you know how much gross income comes from the royal throne as far as getting them ketchup and stuff. Now, here's something I want to bring up. Get ready. So as previously discussed, we had the Randy Travis Festival here in Marshville. Now, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte in the beautiful town of Marshville. We're about an hour drive from Charlotte. We're a small little community. We have about 2,500 people. We had a Randy Travis Festival that brings people from all over, country music and stuff, country music lovers, people that lovers of Randy Travis music, and just anytime you can get outside, especially during this whole after the whole pandemic and everything, people just want to get out and support the community and do all that. So Randy Travis Festival is the equivalent of, how do I put this politely? It's the equivalent of, you ever seen those pop-up carnivals, like in an abandoned, like Sears parking lot? They kind of pop up there. You know, the Yokes Brothers traveling fair, and they sit there for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then they're gone, and they move on to the next place. They break everything down, they move on. And, you know, it's always like you're driving down your main road there, and you look over, and you're like, oh, there's a carnival. And then the next time you go get groceries, the carnival's gone. Darn it. So the Randy Travis Festival only takes place one day, this past weekend, and they try their best. I know that the community that we live in, I don't want to say it's poor. It's not. It's a blue-collar community, which is great. I think we need a lot more blue-collar communities just to, you know, to establish a well, I don't know. I just think we need more blue-collar communities instead of run-down areas and stuff. Anyways, I digress. So this blue-collar community comes together for this one festival. And everyone, you know, there's food trucks. I don't think there's rides or anything. I don't think we're that big yet. But there's food trucks, and everyone who has an Etsy shop on, you know, a shop on Etsy or Shopify or something, they've got their little 10x10 tent out there with their, you know, homemade earrings, everything. Everyone who did crafting and stuff during the whole pandemic is selling their wares out there in these little booths. And of course, there's realtors out there, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, you know, it's just our community. It's a full representation of our community. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying that it's a full representation of our community. Now, in our community, we have a diverse group of people. We do have, like I said, we have an older community, we have a blue-collar community, and we have a newer, younger community that's coming into Marshville. They're coming into Union County. One, for taxes. Two, there's a lot more land out here. Like I said, we're 2,500 people strong here in our small little community, but there is acres and acres and acres of undeveloped land around us. So, the money comes out here, and then eventually we might get a Ferris wheel or something stupid like that. So I was seeing on the What's Up Marshville Facebook page, I was seeing people talking about the Randy Travis Festival because unfortunately we couldn't go. So I just wanted to see if it was a good turnout or what people had to say about that. The first one I see is this older woman, grandmother, and she said, well, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm sure they tried to do as much as they can to make it not palatable, to make sure that everyone has something to do. Kids, like I said, there's no rides or anything out there. So kids under the age of 10, under the age of 8, 6, wherever it is, they don't want to go to this stuffy event because there's nothing really for them to do. Walk around, getting pushed in a stroller while mom and dad gets out, has a chicken leg or some kind of barbecue and some pork skins, and then, goes back home. So they got something for the kids to do. Now, don't get me wrong. They've got a stage up there. They got like a 20 by 25 stage up there with lights and everything. And it's right in the middle of the main street there. And someone will go up there with a violin and play a couple songs. And from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Every 30 minutes, they've got a band up there or someone up there performing. So it's kind of like the Jerry Lewis Telethon. They're desperate to fill up slots up there. So anyone up there juggling, cantaloupe gets 30 minutes, and then they bring on the next guy. One of the things that they did to fill up a slot was to have, for free, your child could enter a talent contest. I don't think it's a beauty contest because that would be kind of weird. Just some kind of talent type competition. I don't know the details about it. This is all I know as far as the outcome of the end. So the grandmother wrote on the Facebook page saying, hey, my little granddaughter, she was up there on the stage and she won. She won. My granddaughter, great for my granddaughter. And they gave her a crown and everything. But the crown was made of paper and cardboard. The crown that she won for her time and effort being up on that stage and giving out her heart and dancing around or whatever she did. I don't know what she did. The Randy Travis Festival gave her a paper crown with cardboard on it. Now, I know there's a lot more money in this community. They could have put some gems. They could have put bought a gold crown or some kind of metal crown. I do not agree with my little darling. After she won this competition, they gave her something paper crown, cardboard crown. They should have given her something metal, something of value to show her efforts and time for being up there. All right. I've looked for the post. And of course, What's Up Marshville took it down, and you should have seen. I mean, you could see right in your mind. You're like going, well, it was for free. You're lucky that she got anything. You're lucky that they did anything. It's all these, everyone typing, and the comments are just, 81 comments and 102 comments and 105 comments, and it keeps on going down. So I'm sure they removed it, but that's what this one person said. That's the mentality of this grandmother who saw her granddaughter up on stage and got a paper crown with cardboard or cardboard with paper on it. And that was it. It's like a Burger King, one of those Burger King crowns, right? She won. Here you go. See you later. Go get a free turkey leg. On the other side of that coin is another older woman. I'm not going to say the same age as the grandmother, but she is close to it. And the only reason why I say that is because I see the profile picture and I read what they wrote. Right. And so I put a voice in my head like I did with the grandmother there, and I put a voice in my head. And this woman said about the Randy Travis Festival that it's completely free to get in. It's completely, for the community, support your community. This is what she said. I don't know why they had all this, Randy Travis Festival in here, and all they were playing up on stage was R&B music. I come to a Randy Travis Festival. I like country music. I like all types of music, but I want to hear more Randy Travis music. And I was there from 8 o'clock, 8:45 to be exact, all the way to 1:30, left, came back, I had to pack up lunch for my baby dolls at home, came back, and at 2:45, I still did not hear one country song. All I saw was bands up on stage, not playing any Randy Travis music, and the main band that was up there for a long time was playing R&B music for everybody. I do not agree with this. Okay, so now 85 comments, 105 comments, so on and so forth. And I said, I was reading this at breakfast to my wife, and I was reading the comments, or not in that voice, but I read her post, and I said, look, lady, I said, in my mind, I'm like, look, no, hold on. Let me say what I actually said. So I read that to my wife, and she's like going, well, I agree with her. I said, what do you agree with? She's like, you go to a Randy Travis Festival, you want to hear country music. I said, yes, I understand that. That's where she should have left it. She should have left it at, I want to hear country music, or I go to Randy Travis Festival to hear country music. Leaving out, she shouldn't have said anything about the R&B part. I don't think that was relative as far as the Randy Travis, because what if it was heavy death metal? What does that have to do? What does that have to do with? I go to a Randy Travis Festival. I'd like to hear country music. Could we hear more country music, please? Is it today's country music? Because God knows today's country music isn't that. It isn't what, you hear that you want to hear, especially this older lady. And I'm saying older lady. She's probably in her late 60s to early 70s. And then to call out, all they're playing is R&B music. Well, Christ, have you heard the new country music? It almost, outside of a mandolin and a slide guitar, there's no difference between the two, if you think about it. So that comment went up, and everyone was, this and that and that and this, and the comments went on. So I agreed or disagreed with the woman. I said, look, I understand you go to a country festival, country music, but they don't bill it as that. So you have to assume, or you have to understand that what the community is, you got to play to your community. Now, here in Marshville, I'm going to say we're about 50-50 as far as, white blue-collar people and black blue-collar people. So to play all country music, you might as well just do, it's eggshells. When you say those kind of comments, you're walking on eggshells by doing that, which I don't think is fair. I don't think we should look at it that way. Granted, whoever booked all these bands should have had some kind of format in mind. So tell me your thoughts on that. I mean, I wasn't there, so I can't give you the whole entire synopsis or my review as far as who was up on stage. And you hear 15 good things and one bad thing, and you focus on the bad thing, whether it's, the music, whether it's this, whether it's that, you focus on that, and it just creates a problem for a lot of people. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that. And the way you do that is to go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on the very bottom of the page, says Be Heard, opens up our microphone, speak right into it, comes right to our inbox, and we'd love to hear from you as well. All right, guys, big show to get into, lots more to talk about. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. I want to give you something for free. I really do. And no strings attached, except for you have to help me out. You have to go over to prophetradio.com, click on free swag, and then fill out that little form there. Pick out what package you want. I've got a bunch of stickers. I got magnets. And if you're nice, and don't say anything mean, I might throw a couple extra things in there. I got a bunch of neat little tchotchkes sitting around here in the studios with the Deacon Live logo and stuff on it. So I'll put those in your bag and send it out to you. And believe me, I'm not going to do anything with your email address. I've got enough stuff going on. You hear about my daily routine that I have to do here on the ranch, part farm, part ranch, here on the property. And don't forget, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Population 2,500. Oh, probably 2,499 if someone just left the community because they hated the music that was playing at the Randy Travis Festival. Maybe she took her family well. Good for her. You want to do that? We don't need you here. We like positive people, and positivity is what we like to hear. Now, on a negative note, to go ahead and flip the script on that, a lot of people out there who are very amorous are going to be upset. A tractor trailer overturned while driving through Oklahoma on Wednesday, spilling debris onto I-40 and closing the ramp off for several hours. In this short video shot by News 9, hundreds of boxes can be seen spread across the road, and if you look very closely, you can see and might identify what actually is in those boxes and might start, your little inner child might start giggling. Hundreds of boxes of quote-unquote sex toys were thrown all over I-40 and some spilling out of their packages. You can hear the news anchor in this report dancing around and trying to say what he's actually seeing, but anyone with a trained eye knows exactly what's going on. Now, if you want to see this video, the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio. Make sure you like us on YouTube. And for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. I'm waving to you. Hopefully you're waving back to me. And here we go with the video. Let's see if I can blow this up so we can all see it and we can all be friends. Here we go. Let's make sure we turn it up. We on? Yes, we're on.
A lot of these ants are carrying leaves with hitchhikers on them.
Oh, shut up.
That's right, and this was something that early explorers even pointed out. Why are these little ants?
I don't care about the ants yet. Not yet. Here we go. Oh, by the way, my name's Macy or something like that.
that's right, Lacey. This is a semi that overturned and lost its load here. It has also involved this box truck that's on a little bit further east there. Involved this box truck that they're being loaded right there now. This semi overturned right at I-40, right where the on-ramp is to go to the new Turnpike Spur here. It is also the Mustang on-ramp. When you get off Mustang to get onto I-40 eastbound, that's also the Mustang on-ramp. That is completely shut down due to, he's all the way across the lanes there. So they,
oh, yeah, he's all twisted up.
There's a lot of stuff to clean up. So this Turnpike Spur and Mustang on-ramp here at I-40 will probably be closed for quite some time. Jim Gar reporting live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9, back to you.
Here we go.
Can you tell what he's carrying there? What's all over the...
Lacey, drop it. Lacey, just drop it, all right? Because he's trying to do the best he can. Jim Gardner up in the air, and News 9 is trying to make sure that, hey, all right, back to you.
Road.
He's probably looking around going, how the hell do I explain this? How do I explain this to my news anchor at the crew desk?
All right, that's a mess for sure. That's the latest. I-40 eastbound.
Well,
looks like some...
we're zooming in. Not really.
Yes, you can.
Tell. I can't tell. You know, the good thing involved in this, too, is the driver's not injured.
Good.
There's no injuries, but there's a lot of stuff laying on the road, whatever it is.
Yes, it is.
A while to clean up.
A lot of dicks.
Jim Gardner over the scene and Bob Mills, Sky News 9 again. I-40 eastbound, blocking the Kilpatrick exit or on-ramp, if you will, right at...
There you go. A lot of dicks. A lot of dicks out there on the news over there on the expressway ramp there. So there you go on that one. That's funny when they have to do it. No, Lacey can't see anything. We're on the bad side of the moon here. We can't see anything. Now, something that people see every day and don't think anything about it, and that is ants. It's that time of year here on our property. Ants start piling up around or building nests around trees. They start building nests around any kind of like footing, any kind of concrete, which is weird that they do that. But right now, get ready for this. Have you ever thought about how many ants are in the world? So researchers have worked out an estimate for numbers of ants crawling around on the earth. And the total is, quote unquote, outstanding. Scientists at the University of Hong Kong, because they ain't got nothing to do over there, says that there are 20 quadrillion critters around the globe. Now, you say, well, how big is that? That's a 2 with 16 zeros behind it. The combined weight of all those ants is more than half of all the wild birds and mammals on the planet. You think of a little ant not weighing much, you have 20 quadrillion. And what about, there's little red ants, there's carpenter ants, big ants, and there's ones that are like a foot long, I think out there in the Sahara Desert somewhere. So, I mean, there's big fucks and little fucks. The weight is also equal to about 1/5 of the total weight of humans. Scientists say the findings. Oh, all right. I'm not going to read that. Ants are present in nearly all ecosystems around the world thanks to the extreme social nature. At the moment, there are more than 15,700 named species and subspecies, and there are many more still not yet named yet. To come up with that total, researchers analyzed 489 studies from around the world spanning up over the continents and major habitats. Other scientists have the tedious task of directing and observing and counting ants through traps and leaf samples. So the researchers all combined together saying that there was about 20 quadrillion estimated ants on the whole entire planet. The scientists said that between 2 and 20 times higher than the prior estimates. Great, the ants are going to take over the world. We're going to be dead. And you worry about those roaches through a nuclear blast. Researchers also want to work out the total weight of all the ants. They concluded the estimated biomass of about 12 million tons of carbon, but carbon only makes up about half of the dry weight of the ant, meaning that the total mass is likely even higher than that. So for more on this video, I got a little news report from CBS Morning. Hold on.
Some academics at the University of Hong Kong got it in their heads to estimate how many ants there are on the planet, like the little insects. How many are there? So they looked at 489 different studies all over the world of people figuring out like how many ants are there, how many are there, how many are there, and they added them all up. And the number that they came up with is truly astonishing. This is where the mind-boggle part comes in. 20,000 trillion.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Which you can't even comprehend, but this you can comprehend. Michelle, you're going to die when you hear this. If you add up the weight of all those ants, you put them on a scale. And then you took all the mammals, which includes us on the planet, and they are on a scale too. So it's us and bears.
Don't say anything crazy.
The ants weigh more than the mammals on the planet.
All of them?
Possible.
All the ants weigh more than all the other animals, the mammals.
That is not possible.
Yes, it is. You said 20 trillion.
Ants,
20,000 trillion. So
20,000 trillion.
So Michelle and Nate, where are you on the scale of that's awesome, I love Earth, and where are you to like Jeff Bezos build the rocket, can I come on board? Like, do you want to leave this place?
Heck no.
I mean, numbers like that,
freaked
and then robots coming. Yeah.
Well,
The
robots
ants run
definitely. I'm not fearful of ants. Robots, that's another thing.
They always say when you see an ant on the counter, there's another one behind.
That is hard to quantify. That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yes, it is hard to quantify, sir. But yeah, there you go. All right, guys, stick around. Something else that's hard to quantify is that we'll be back right after this. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live. I kid. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you get yourself something for free over at Prophet Radio. And the way you do that, of course, is go over to, make sure you get, I don't know what I'm saying. Let's try it again. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you get yourself something for free. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the free swag section and fill out that little form there so I have somewhere to mail it. That's the only reason why that form is there, believe me. I'm not going to do anything with your email address. Just click on the thing. And we will mail it out to you. We'll mail out some stickers, some magnets, some buttons. I'm working on getting some keychains. I know everyone will, I want a shirt. Well, you know what? We're not there yet. But you will soon have some kind of apparel that you can wear and show off the Deacon Live podcast at your location as well. Now, football's a big time of year. A lot of diehard fans out there. I watched a couple games over the past weekend. I don't watch football. I understand the game, and I love to watch a good game. I like to watch them duel back and forth. I don't know the technical stuff. I know how people score. I know that you're allowed to do this, but I don't know all the little details like, oh, that guy's only allowed to walk 2 feet and then take a left, like chess, you know. They're only allowed to move so many far and so this. And I'm talking like American football. I'm not talking about Ryan Reynolds and Rob, whatever his name, from Sunny in Philadelphia, their football team that they bought over there in Wales, which is a good show, by the way. It's fun. The one guy from Is It Sunny in Philadelphia, kind of a dick. I'm just saying, kind of a dick. I've never watched the show, but watching him in real life talk to people, like on the phone, on the thing, I know I'm digressing here, but he is, honestly, he's just a dick. I can just tell. I just know. You have that feeling. It's that aura thing. You know, when the earth tells you not to go to something or do something, it's that aura thing. I look at him and I go, dick, asshole. Now, I'm going to read this story right here, and you're going to think this guy's a dick. Well, you will think he's a dick. So this past weekend, Beyond Meat, you know, the plant-based meat substitute company, Beyond Meat, suspends its chief operating officer after he was arrested over the weekend on suspicion of biting a man's nose off during a fight following an Arkansas football game. How did we get to this? There's so many open questions that I have, so let's keep reading. The police arrested vegan food purveyor COO Doug Ramsey, not Gordon Ramsay, Doug Ramsey, on charges of terroristic threatening and third-degree battery on Saturday night. Ramsey was released on $11,000 bond following the next day. The company didn't respond to the request for comments on the arrest. It later released a brief statement announcing that Ramsey had been suspended effective immediately. Fayetteville, Arkansas, citing a police report, said that Beyond Meat's Ramsey punched through the back windshield of a Subaru that had hit the tire on his Bronco. All right, so there's a lot to unpackage right there. So, what's his name? So Doug Ramsey is at this Arkansas football game, and he's got a Bronco. Now, for those of you who don't know, a Bronco normally has a spare tire, like the older style, has a spare tire on the back of the door. And, you know, it sits there. So if you bump it, it's a big bumper is all it is. So he gets out and punches through the back windshield of a Subaru. Hello, Doug Ramsey. That is your audience for Beyond Meat. People who drive Subarus. Let it go. They probably haven't shaved in weeks. They like your food. Don't mess them up. You're disturbing. You're messing up the whole criteria for people who drive Subarus, and you're Beyond Meat. There's a relationship there, a correlation there. The incident took place in the parking garage near the Razorback Stadium at the University of Arkansas. The driver of the Subaru told the police that Ramsey pulled him in close and started punching his body. Come here. Ramsey also bit the driver. Ramsey also bit the driver, ripping the flesh off the tip of his nose. Ramsey joined Beyond Meat in December of last year after serving 3 decades career at Tyson Foods. So there you go. The Beyond Meat guy is punching people and eating them in the face, eating their face off. He would think, you know, peace and love and all that stuff. But now I guess he got a little upset. Maybe too much to drink, maybe too much meat in his diet, made him a little too aggressive, maybe not enough meat in his diet. No, man, don't hit me, sir. I drive a Subaru. Oh, my God, my nose. What an animal. Now, here in our ranch, we call it a ranch because it's part farm, part ranch. We have horses, chickens, cattle, dogs, goats, and a collection of other things on one side of the property. And the other side of our property, we actually plant crops and stuff for here at the house. Now, if we don't have enough or we have too much food and stuff, we normally put out like a produce stand out in the front part of our neighborhood or out front part of our property, which is like, you know, a half mile down the road. We'll put some product out there and a little donation coffee cup. You know, if you want some corn, if you want some okra, some black eyed peas and stuff, take what you want, throw a couple coins in there, just, you know, so the community can use it. We're giving back. You know, we don't ask for anything. If you want to take the whole table, I don't care. If you want to take the coffee can too, we don't care either. We're just, you know, some people want to feel obligated to donate. But now, one of the tomatoes that I love to grow, and I keep them for myself, is heirloom tomatoes. I don't know where I came across them. I think we were doing a recipe for something, and I cut into an heirloom tomato, and I'm like, going, where have these been all my life? And if you ever cut up an heirloom tomato, they are weird colors. Like sometimes they'll be really, really red burgundy on one side and really, really orange on one side. And when you cut them open, the cells inside aren't uniform. They're all over the place. And it just has a really, really good taste. I could eat those things like apples, you know, but they have a really, really great taste and a bold taste. Right now, some gardeners grow tomatoes in rainbow colors, including red, yellow, orange, green, and even burgundy. But purple, new tomatoes are coming out that people are asking the agricultural department to sign off on. This approval will soon allow people in the United States to purchase seeds to grow genetically modified purple tomatoes. And apparently they are high in demand and might be a little bit healthier. I like when they say might be. On the Big Purple Tomato website, Throngs, the customers saying that they want the tomatoes, that they want, say they want the tomatoes and the seeds once they become available in 2023. According to the report, purple tomatoes are high in anthocyanin and antioxidant-rich pigment found in blackberries and blueberries. Well, that makes sense. The plant research institutes based in Norfolk, England, said the tomatoes also have marked a turning point in genetic modified foods nationwide. Their engineered trait is meant to entice the shopper, not the farmer, especially people interested in veggie potential health benefits. The USDA decisions follow a near 15-year wait for the Johns N Center professor Kathy Martin, who developed the rich purple tomatoes in 2008 by engineering a precise genetic on switch derived from an edible flower. So it's been released in September 9, and what they're trying to do is get these genetic modified tomatoes. Now, yes, would you eat a genetic modified tomato? I think basically everything that we're eating now, from just regular fruits and vegetables and all that stuff in our crops are basically genetically engineered. So would you like a purple tomato? Yes, I would love a purple tomato. Put it on top of my salad or in my Bloody Mary. Either way, I'd like to taste one because I like tomatoes. Not like that one kid on TikTok says, I like corn. He's made $1 million. I don't know if he has, but I like tomatoes. So someone create a song using auto-tune with my voice saying that as well. All right, guys, when we come back, a couple more things, and we'll let you get back to doing what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, most of the music art... Don't forget... Oh, God. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, some of the musical artists that you hear on Deacon Live are independent artists. They are... I don't know how to say that. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, some of the musical artists that you hear on Deacon Live aren't heard on your normal terrestrial radios, and Deacon Live takes pride in showcasing their music. They're hard. I'm almost there. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, some of the music that you hear on Deacon Live are musical artists that aren't heard on your terrestrial FM stations. They are hardworking. Why do I keep saying hardworking? Why is that stuck in my head? Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, some of the musical artists that you hear on Deacon Live are not heard on your normal terrestrial FM stations, and Deacon Live takes pride in showcasing their music and their talents right here on our program. And if you want to hear more from these talented artists, make sure you go over to prophetradio.com, click on Music Heard On, and you can listen to every single artist that has been showcased here on our program. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow up to them, show them some love, because we have showed them a lot of love, and we appreciate you guys showing them some love as well. And make sure you get something for free while you're over there. Fill out that little form over there on the free swag section. Now, as a kid growing up, you know, you go to the doctors and you do all that stuff, and doctor says, you're going to be this tall, you're going to be this late. Hold on. Let's backtrack a little bit. There's a lot of cosmetic surgery out there. Now, you hear about a lot of people getting cosmetic surgery. I want my eyes bigger. I want my lips bigger. I want my face bigger. I want my butt bigger. You know, I want all that stuff a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller in some cases. You know, where they do the liposuction, they suck everything down. They do the whole freeze thing. I don't know how that works. You freeze your fat cells and then you poop them out. God, what a movement that would be in your body. Oh, God almighty. But there is a new trend that's coming out right now that is real popular with the tech industry. And I'm talking to people that work at Google, people that work at Apple, and they sit behind their desk all day long, and they just sit there and, dredging through the fields, and they're typing and, coding and stuff. One thing that they wish they could do or be is a little bit taller. Now, a Las Vegas cosmetic surgeon who specializes in leg lengthening procedures that can extend the people's length or their height by 3 to 6 inches. Here we go. Kevin Debaparashad, founder of Limplastic X, founded Limplastic X Institute in 2016, and the clinic's business has boomed during the pandemic. Here's how it works. The doctor breaks, oh God, if you're ready for pain, it is surgery. The doctor breaks the patient's femurs or thigh bones and inserts metal nails into them, and that can be adjusted. The nails are extended a tiny bit every time for 3 months with a magnet remote control outside of the body. All right. It takes months to slowly lengthen the bones for the legs and for them to heal. One software engineer told GQ he spent the first 3 months after his surgery alone in his apartment and ordered delivery food during that time to go from 5'6" to 5'9". Ah, isn't he cute? He wanted to go from 5'6" to only 5'9". Procedures cost anywhere from $70,000 to $150,000, depending on whether the patient wants to grow 3, 4, 5, or 6 inches. Hey-oh. Common denominator of Deparshad's client base is they are wealthy. Well, duh. But they are very professional. GQ reported that he has treated CEOs, actors, and finance employees. The bevy of the high-earning work techs, mostly men, but some women, have come to him for the procedure. I, quote unquote, I joked that I could open a tech company. Debashard said, I got like 20 software engineers doing the procedure right now that are here in Vegas. There was a girl yesterday from PayPal. She's the only one for PayPal. Julie, you look a little bit taller. Shut up. I've got patients from Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft. I've had multiple patients from Microsoft as well. The surgeon said he didn't recommend the procedure for athletes since it could decrease their ability. And many of the patients said that they didn't tell people that they had the procedure done. All right, so hold on one sec. All of a sudden, you're 6 inches taller? What are you doing? Badger milk. I drink badger milk. Tom, you're a little bit taller. Yeah, I know. Yeah, been working out. Yeah, there's a machine down at Planet Fitness. I don't know what it's called, but it works well. You really? Yeah. I hang from this machine, right? And then I strap weights to my legs, and there's a magnet to the floor. And the magnet is electromagnet that when I hold on to the top and I hit the button on the trigger, it physically pulls my body in length. Yeah, those were torture devices in the medieval times. The rack, put them on the rack. You stretch them out, stretch them out, stretch them out. Now, if they could only figure out a way to shoot these people for less than $150,000 in the space, because I know when the guys came back from the ISS station, they came down and, of course, they'd go through all their metrics and stuff, their weight and their vitals and stuff. Most of them were about 3 to 4 inches taller just because they had no gravity. Of course, gravity, the punisher that it is, slammed them right back down into the normal weight. But if you could figure out a way to freeze their body just the way, I don't know, I'm speaking crazy here. That's the way my mind works. Now, unfortunately, this family right here, their mind is not working very well for their children. Many parents dream of their children growing up and seeing the world, but Edith LeMay, a mother of 4 from Canada, worried that her children were running out of time for that. When her first child, Mia, was little, she noticed that she would bump into things. LeMay worried about her daughter's vision and brought her to a doctor in 2018. Mia was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosus. What it does is actually the cells of the retinas dies over time and they lose their field of vision. They're like going through loss of vision from the outside to the center. And in the end, it looks like they're looking through a straw. And there's a chance that they will completely go blind in the midlife, says LeMay. The disease is genetic, meaning LeMay's other kids were at risk as well. So she got 4 kids. She soon noticed that the other 2 sons, Colin and Lariat, had the same symptoms. God, what kind of water are you drinking over there in Canada? Get away from it. They were soon diagnosed too. So, of course, this was devastating when you have a kid that you always imagine what their future is going to look like and what their future is going to be like. And then all of a sudden you get that news that that you need to erase that and think it all over again. LeMay says that she openly talks about the disease with her children, but her younger sons might be too young to fully realize what's happening with their vision. My little one, what she says, what didn't I realize that he didn't know what it means to be blind? And of course, he's 5, so he's starting to ask hundreds of questions. How am I going to cross the street? How am I going to drive a car? Will my wife be blind? Well, hopefully, kid, looking at your profile here, she might have to be blind. This was gut-wrenching. This was a gut-wrenching moment, but I was trying to keep positive as normal and try to keep normal as possible. But inside, she said it was really hard. Of course, it would be really hard. Guess what? All your kids are going blind because you got some kind of genetic deformity that causes your kids' retinas to completely close on himself. Unfortunately, she said her daughter is realistic about it. When people ask her, how do you feel about that? Her answers are always the same. Today is today. My vision is good, so I'm going to make the most of it. And in the future, when challenges come, we will face them in solutions. Okay, well, the daughter obviously is got a script to read. I'd be freaking out. LeMay wanted to prepare her kids for what was soon to come and thought about teaching them Braille. But specialists had other suggestions. They said the best thing to do right now is to fill up their lives with visual memory. And then they were talking about reading books and seeing pictures of elephants and giraffes in the books. And that's when it clicked. I'm like, I'm not going to do the book thing. I'm going to let them see everything in real life. So in March, LeMay and her husband and their 4 kids left Canada and embarked on an epic journey to travel the globe for a whole year. Can you imagine that? You're getting ready. It's kind of like a bucket list thing. You're getting ready to die. You're getting ready to lose your vision. And they want to travel the world for the whole year, showing the kids the world before it's too late. Right now, they're in Bali, already having to cross Africa, Namibia, and Tasmania. They also visited Turkey, Mongolia, and plan to work their way around through Asia. Their kids are excited about pretty much anything. They don't go through it without the urgency of seeing and remembering things. I literally was going to say take pictures of it, but then that dawned on me. No, stupid, they can't see. They don't think about it. Oh, it might be the last time I see that thing or anything like that. During the trip, LeMay is homeschooling their kids, and the family also made a bucket list of fun activities that they want to accomplish so each kid can see their dreams come true. Mia, 11 years old, wanted to go horseback riding, which is great. They crossed it off that list in Mongolia. She felt so free after horseback riding. She had tears in her eyes. It was really beautiful to see, LeMay said. So that's what they're doing. Colin wanted to sleep on a train. Laurent at 5 had an interesting idea. He wanted to drink juice on a camel, okay? And then so on and so forth. So that's what they're doing. They took a year off. The kids are losing their sight and wanted to give them all these memories and stuff. But as you get older, and let's say if you're 5 years old, you don't lose your and you've got this disease, 20 years later, you're going to lose your sight. I don't know what that time frame is. Maybe some of this stuff is great for now, but I don't know what the time frame is as far as are they going to lose it tomorrow? I don't know. All right, guys, a couple more things, and we'll let you get back to doing what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on social contacts, and while you're over there, get yourself something for free. Fill out that little form there. We'll mail you out some stuff. And don't forget, for every podcast we have a matching video as well. You can see me waving to you. Hopefully you're waving back to me and following us. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Our audio numbers on iHeartRadio, on Spotify, on iTunes are crazy, crazy high. But for some reason, the YouTube channel, I don't know if I'm not plugging in enough or something like that. So just make sure you go over there and subscribe as well. I'm not going to post anything crazy. Basically, it's just the videos portion of the podcast. But here's the thing that I'm going to give you. A little inside note. The podcast that I do on the iHeartRadio and everything else is edited. When I say edited, I cut out all the, I don't know. Should I say that? This is not working. Something's not right. In between the, switching in between screens. That all gets cut out, because I know a lot of people out there that listen to the podcast. They've got a short time frame that they can listen to a podcast and get on with their day. The video portion, actually, I leave all the errors and everything in. So when you see me sit there and struggle my way through an article because I'm sitting there trying to read what they wrote and try to make sense of what they wrote, it's all on the podcast. It's all on the video portion of the podcast. And some people out there have some fun with it, and they put some really crazy, sometimes rude comments down at the bottom. So make sure you subscribe over there at YouTube as well. You can see all the, literally, technically, the behind the scenes stuff as it goes on here in live time, real time, as we do them here on the podcast. Now, leftovers. My wife and I, because we live, let me backtrack a little bit. Because we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres here. We have a population of 2,500 people here in Marshville. 2,400 people now, maybe 100 people left because of that Randy Travis festival. They were so disgusted because of everything that was going on out there. Maybe 100 people moved out. Who knows? But we have no options for restaurants, really. I mean, technically, we have a Wendy's on one corner, a Bojangles on another corner. There's a little Mexican restaurant, and then that's it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of restaurant options without going to the next town over. So as far as leftovers and stuff that we bring home, one, we don't go out to eat unless we go to the next town over, which is too far because we'd like to have a beverage or two, and we don't want to take the risk, drive safe, don't drive drunk type deal. And there's no Uber drivers where we're at. So the chances of bringing leftovers home is very slim to none. But a lot of people love to have leftover stuff in general. Now, if I said to you, what if I had to charge you or wanted to charge you a premium price or a moderate price to eat premium leftovers? Now, hold on. I'm not talking about my premium leftovers. Like if I go to Ruth Chris or something, I pay you or you pay another additional fee to have my leftover filet mignon or my Wagyu beef or anything like that. This company right here in Singapore, a Singapore company charges you $7.50 to eat the leftovers from a high-end hotel buffets. And they put it to the test. So what they're doing is buffets are among the most popular restaurants in Singapore, but they can be very expensive. If you fancy a lunch at a 5-star hotel buffet restaurant, be prepared to shell out at least 50 Singapore dollars or 35. Why would they call them Singapore dollars? I mean, isn't that the same as like American dollars? Why would they? There's got to be a better name there. Or $35.50 is what they're saying. For example, the clove at Swissôtel. Oh my God, they're making up these words too. For example, clove at Swissôtel Stamford, which is known for its mix of international and Western cuisines, charges Singapore dollars $68 for a weekday lunch. That's Singapore dollars. But the buffet doesn't have to be a luxury, just as Treatsure, TreaTsure, a Singapore company that charges people a discount fees for the gourmet buffet leftovers. Treatsure, launched in 2017, calls itself the buffet in a box. People can download the app, make a trip to any of its dozen partnered locations, and take out buffet leftovers for $10.50 or $7.50 US. Co-founder Preston Wong said the idea came from the app about when he saw his family clearing expired items from the refrigerator. We launched the app to target food and beverage wastage. Wong said, I found that the food wastage problem is challenging in the food industry, as it is with all households. The app currently now has 40,000 users, and like the rest of the hospitality industry, Treatsure saw financial and operational slowdowns during the pandemic, when restaurants and hotels were closed. However, the company has a service that sells leftover groceries, which Wong said helped cushion the companies during the pandemic. So that's what they're doing. I guess in Singapore, they have a whole lot of buffets and stuff, and some of those buffets, I mean, $65, even $35 for a buffet. High end, there better be steak on there. There better be lobster. But, I mean, look at it this way. What about those Texas Brazil places, or the Brazil cuisine, where they bring all the meat and stuff out to your plate? And sometimes, the guy that's got like the pork something that nobody wants, and he's trying to sell that skewer, man. He's like going, here, no. And then you're the closest one see, that's the trick. You have to be the closest one to the door to the kitchen, because they have to make their rounds. And then if the guy comes around with a fillet on his skewer, this happened to me. This is the only reason why I say it. And no one wanted the fillet, and he's got like a whole fillet on there. Normally they have to take a slice. He just threw the whole fillet on the plate for me. So there you go. If you want to rack up on that. But in Singapore, they've got this new app called Treatsure that helps prevent wasted food wastage. Is wastage the right word? I don't know. Now, I can only speak for myself when I try to be as grounded, and I try to be as, how do I word this? I try to be as in touch with everything that's going on around me, as far as hearing both sides. For those of you who don't know, I am a Republican. I will say that straight up and down. But if you want to give me an alternative to an argument, I will more happy sit there and listen to you all day long and not judge you for that. I will ask the questions, because when you come to me with a question, I don't know where I'm going with this. So let's backtrack. I'm not going to use that side. Nope. So myself, I like to be somewhat grounded. And when I say grounded, I want to be in touch with what's going on the... How do I start this up? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I will do what it takes to make myself feel comfortable. And when I say I'll do what it takes, there was a time now where I have gotten a purple mattress, proud sponsor of ProfitRadio.com. We love them. We have got a very nice purple mattress. If you're not familiar with purple mattress, check them out. We've been on ours for probably 3 years now. I was having back problems, sciatic nerve problems, and me sleeping at night. It was a difficulty. So got the purple mattress. Scientifically, boom, I'm good. My back doesn't really bother me when I sleep at night. Things I deal with when I go to sleep is restless leg syndrome. So I bought a weighted blanket. Yes, put the weighted blanket on my legs, solve that problem. I sleep like a baby. A lot of times we have animals, dogs, cats, and everything running around the house. I can't sleep. So I actually bought these earplugs that I put in my ear. So where you can hear your own heartbeat and hear your own breath breathing in and out, calms you down, you relax, you go into sleep. You know, you go into the sleep pattern because it's like being in the womb of your mother when you're a baby. But a lot of people out there are walking around and getting themselves grounded to the earth itself, which I'm probably going to end up doing here once I read this article. And you can stay with me or be on the other side of the fence. Doesn't matter. Earthing right now is a popular trend. Now, earthing is also called grounding, and it can be a very controversial topic. Many people report amazing benefits, while critics point out the lack of solid scientific studies supporting this practice. So what created this was I saw this video on TikTok, and I was like going, well, what the hell is that? So it was a couple, and if you want to see this video, I'm going to post this right here or play this video right here. Make sure I got the right screen up. There you go. And the video starts out with a couple, married couple. They look like my wife and I, just that my wife has blonde hair and I have hair in the video. What's something you and your spouse do others might, quote unquote, judge you for? So here you go. I know it's just music here, but this is what they do. So they put a plug. Hold on. So in your outlet, right? You got a 3-prong outlet. They put in you got the two on the left and the right, and then you got the little mouthpiece for a 3-prong outlet. They're plugging something just in the circle part, the mouth part of the outlet. And then they've got these orange bands that are connected to that cord that's plugged into the circle mouth part of the outlet. One guy puts it on his arm, turns the lights out and lays down. The wife puts it on her calf, lays down, and it's called earthing. Every night we sleep. Look it up. It's legit. So what they're saying is connecting yourself to the planet helps you do a lot of stuff and create a lot less stress in your life. In short, earthing is grounding and putting the body in direct, uninterrupted contact with the earth. So that's what they're doing. Switch camera one so you can see me. This means that the skin needs to touch soil, sand, water, or conductive surfaces that is in contact with the earth. From a scientific perspective, the idea is the earth is a mild negative charge on it. Over time, especially in modern life, our bodies build up a positive charge. Direct contact with the earth can even us out and make us more a neutral state. Many people don't have this contact with the earth anymore because some experts say one of it's because of we're doing too many things. As far as we wear rubber shoes, we live indoors, and theories, many of this can go years without directly touching the earth at all, even if we're outside. Over time, the theory has a positive charge that builds that can lead to health problems. Oh, great. So according to this research about benefits of earthing and grounding, earthing may be beneficial in, but not limited to, I like this, reducing inflammation, reducing chronic pain. So there you go. I'm sold. I'm going to plug myself into the wall at night when I sleep. Improving sleep. And the person who wrote this article said they can strongly vouch for this. Increase energy, lowering stress and promoting calmness by reducing stress hormones, normalizing biological rhythms, including normalizing blood pressure and blood flow, relieving muscle tension and headaches. So if you got, someone out there that's chronic headache, improving menstrual for female hormones and so on, speeds healing in some places that prevent bed sores, reduce jet lag, preventing the body from effects of EMFs, shortening recovery time for injuries, reduce snoring, and help support adrenal health as well. So if you're into or need to, or you were thinking about something like, I've tried everything, I've tried medication, I've tried ibuprofen, I've tried taking my pills every day, I'm drinking V8 in the morning, I'm drinking antioxidants, I'm grinding up my Brussels sprouts, I'm doing everything I possibly can. Maybe you need to be more grounded. And so I'm going to look into it a little bit more. I am. Now I'm interested in seeing all the stuff that it actually could help you with, and it makes sense. It does make sense. For example, you sleep on a bed that, 4 feet off the ground, 3 feet off the ground. We walk around in shoes all day long. We're connected to some kind of device. Maybe we need to get more grounded to relieve some of the problems that we have. I'm sure diet and everything has to go with that as well. So let me know what you find out, or if you're already doing it. I'd love to hear from you. And the way you do that is to contact me anytime. You can email me at deacon@profitradio.com, or be part of the show. Go to profitradio.com, click on Be Heard. At the very bottom of the screen, opens up a microphone. You can speak right into it, and you can be part of the show at any given time. From there, we'd like to listen to, or we'd like to hear from you. And make sure you're part of the show. Make sure you like and subscribe and be part of the show at any given time. Go over to profitradio.com and all that stuff. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to what you got to do. My name is the Deacon, saying goodnight and goodnight.
Wait. Come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.